Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm here to do week and a half update. This is the first chance I've gotten to film. I've been kind of sick for the last couple of days. Nothing major, it's the medication. So I'm going to be going off of it. My body's not handling it anymore. So, and that's the Ozempic. I think I was able to handle it before because of that big fibroid that I had, and this time it's just I'm not doing well with it. What it's supposed to be doing is actually doing the opposite of me, for me. So I'm going to be getting off of that. Anyways, I read 5 books last week, week and a half. I have been reading quite a bit. I'm also reading 6 books because I just finished one, which I'm going to include here. Yeah. So, the first book I finished was Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno Garcia, and I believe I gave this 2. I didn't like it. I liked the atmosphere of it, but I didn't like it. It's about a girl who goes to visit her newly married cousin, who's acting really weird, and things are going on in this house, which that's the atmosphere. It is definitely Gothic. But there was nobody that was likable. I think her husband's cousin, Frances, was the only partially likable person in this book. But it was just an overprivileged woman living in underprivilege. Yeah. Didn't like it. So then I read Sale or Return Bride by Sarah Morgan. I don't know if it's gonna bounce or, but this is about a woman who is used by her grandfather to offload a company that he blames her future husband, family, for the death of his son. So he wants to get revenge, and he's selling the company back to them, and it's in turmoil, as well as selling his granddaughter, who he has never really acknowledged, to their son because they want children and she can't have any. So yeah, I gave it a 4. It was a really good book. Let's see. It's Sarah Morgan, so I liked the writing. Obviously, you don't like the grandfather. There was a bit of insulting stuff, but that was because of the way the situation was portrayed. I don't like that part of it. It is what it is. So, I also finished reading The Accidental Further Adventures of the 100-Year-Old Man by Jonas Jonasson. This is book 2 in, I don't know if it's called the 100-Year-Old Man series, duology. It had its moments. A couple of things were funny. Like, there was a couple of funny spots. But ultimately, I gave it a 3. It was so over the top. But it was also political. And it was a little bit too political. But the portrayal of the people the politicians in it were kind of spot on. So I enjoyed that. Like Donald Trump, Kim Jong-un, and Putin were the 3 major characters. And it, because of what you see on TV, is how they're kind of portrayed in here. But yeah, it was so over the top and unreal that I couldn't give it any more than a 3. And then I finished, no, I did not know about that. Able Bodied by Karen Foley. It is book 2 in the Uniformly Hot series. You don't have to read these in order because they're companion. They're not the same characters in any of them. It's just about men in uniform. I, however, don't like reading things out of order. So, this is about Ransom and, what is her name? Hannah. Ransom, she gets run out of Boston by being charged and ultimately acquitted of selling sex in her shop. She is a healer. She does Reiki, but she also, her family has hands-on healing. And so she moves to the new town, but is being chased by the cops from the old town because of reasons. Sorry for the ums. And she moves her shop and her apartment into this duplex. He lives upstairs, and he is constantly walking back and forth in the middle of the night because he can't sleep because he's got like a walking cast and it thumps. So she goes up and kind of lays hands on him accidentally and tries to get him to stop it. You know, things happen. It's a Blaze novel. It not as spicy as other ones that I've read, but still good. I gave it a 4. And then I finished, I'm just trying to get my other ebook up. I just finished this one today, Stay With Me by Becky Wade, and it's book 1 in the Misty River series. Now, these are very religious, spiritual. It is a Christian book, so it's clean. It's religious, but not overly preachy, if that makes sense. It's just a part of her world. She writes Bible studies, and she's a spiritual talker. Like, she has events. And she is kind of broken into Sam's guest house and passed out because she's addicted to oxys. It is from a ankle break that she had a year ago, and she just got addicted to them. So it's not like she just tried them and got hooked up. His former girlfriend was a Percocet addict. So he knows the trials, tribulations, problems of addicts. He agrees to let her stay there because she doesn't want anybody to know. She feels that if it gets out, then she'll lose all of her success. So he agrees to let her stay in the guest house with a couple of stipulations. So she agrees, and he kind of helps her through her clean detox. There's a couple other things. She's getting notes about her parents and what they did in the past, and so there's a little bit of a suspense angle to it. I do think this was shown to me because I just spotted it at the library a while ago and had it, and it's actually due at the library, so I wanted to read it. But due to other circumstances, I think this was put in front of me for certain reasons I'm not going to get into. Yeah. So yeah, it's a book. I gave it a 4. If you don't like the heavily religious stuff, stay away from it. It was a little bit heavy, but it wasn't preachy. So I'm not going to say that, but yeah. So there's that one. So currently reading. I'm currently reading, I should be finished this either tonight or tomorrow, In the Lives of Puppets by T.J. Klune. I like the little Easter eggs that I'm finding in some of these books. This one and the Tommyknockers. They're little Easter eggs for other books. So this one has an Easter egg for the Cerulean Sea. But anyways, this is about a human living with robots. His father is a robot, and he has these 2 other robots that are hilarious. Rambo is a vacuum, like a Roomba, and Nurse Ratchet is a medical robot, and it's flippin' hilarious. Rambo can't shut his mouth or his talking whatever to save his life, and he gets them into trouble. But they're living their lives, and something happens to his dad. So they're on their way. It's an adventure story sort of deal with other connotations. They don't actually leave until here. So it's quite a bit of background, but not as much background as I was hoping. Like, you're finding out about his dad now, sort of. But yeah, I'm assuming that everything is gonna be answered as I go along. I'm hoping, because there's a couple of questions that I have. So, the other book I'm reading is Check and Mate by Ali Hazelwood. This is young adult, but I don't think it should be. I think it should be new adult. I'm flying through it. It's about a girl who used to play chess, and it hasn't explained why she quit. It just says it's attached to her father. Her father is gone, so she has stopped playing chess. You can't even talk about chess. She loses her job and has been offered a year contract to play chess for a company, and it helps her pay the bills. But she's an 18-year-old girl who just graduated high school, who has to pay the mortgage, all the bills, because her mother was a freelance writer and has very bad rheumatoid arthritis and can't work, and she's got two younger sisters who are a little bit on the obnoxious side. She's 18 and the other two are 14 and 12. I wouldn't have gotten away with half the stuff that these kids have done or even said. Anyways, her love interest is the #1 world champion, who is a 20-year-old boy who is known for his anger. Yeah, so there's that. And it's Ali Hazelwood. I'm flying through it when I actually read it. And then there's Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood. This is about a woman who was in grad school, who, when she met him, he treated her like he couldn't stand her. Fast forward a couple years, and she gets the lead on this project with NASA called Blink, and then she finds out a couple of days later he's the co-lead. So they have to work together for the next couple of months. She's not happy about it. Yeah, so there's that one. I'm almost finished, well, getting close to the end of the Tommyknockers, and I do remember reading this. I remember parts of it, but I don't remember a whole lot because I have not read it since high school. But it's essentially a woman stumbles upon this piece of metal, starts to dig it out, things start happening to her, things start happening like to the townspeople, where all these crazy inventions are happening, and with all the batteries, and people are like, the city is running out of batteries, they have to go outside of the city and they can't. It's a thing. So yeah, the other two books I'm reading is book 2, and I'm enjoying this one a little bit better than the first one, but it's in the Flavia de Luce series, The Weed That Strings the Hangman's Bag by Alan Bradley. I've read a couple of reviews that did have brightness turned down. Read a couple of reviews. I'm not gonna deal with it. Where she's an 11-year-old going on 30, where she talks like a 30-year-old, and I can see it. That's part of the reason I don't like her as a character, because she is older than what she's supposed to be. She's supposed to be an 11-year-old who likes science, but she's talking and acting and like older. So the last book I'm reading is MC Beaton's Death of a Gossip, book 1 in the Hamish Macbeth mystery. Bunch of people at a fishing camp, and one of them is a loudmouth widow that everybody hates because she's insulting everybody and she's treating everybody like crap, and she's a Miss Know-It-All gossip. Funny thing about this book is that's the actual book. This is excerpts from 3 other books. So, yeah. And, yeah, so it's done in days. So I'm on day 4. And it's only 7 days. So, it takes place within a week. So it's for one of my challenges. 2 of my challenges. Yeah, so I'm enjoying this. Like, I'm flying through this one. I like the writing. Love it. I have not read MC Beaton before, and There is fat shaming in this. It was written in 1985. Not to say it's okay, just saying it's older. So, what I'm going to continue to read, hopefully, are Only Love Can Hurt. Only Love Can Hurt Like This. I just saw it at the library. I saw the spine, and I picked it up. I don't know anything about it. So, when Ren realizes her fiancé is in love with someone else, she thinks her heart will never recover. On the other side of the world, Anders lost his wife 4 years ago and is still struggling to move on. So I'm not going to read any more. It's just love story. The Long Game by Elena Armas. I don't know anything about this one either. I think I picked it up for a challenge. So, Adeline Reyes has spent years protecting her daily routine. Wake up at dawn, drive to the Miami Flames FC offices, try her hardest, go home, and repeat. But her routine is disrupted when a video of her having an altercation with the team's mascot goes viral. Rather than fire her, the team's owner, who happens to be her father, sends Adeline to middle of nowhere, North Carolina, where she's tasked with turning around the struggling local soccer team. Her plans crumble upon discovering that the players wear tutus to practice, impractical, keep pet goats, messy, and are terrified of Adeline, counterproductive. They're also 9-year-old girls. Should be funny. Yeah. And he's a professional goalkeeper who's retired. This one I've been wanting to read for so long. And then it matched or fit with a challenge that I wanted to pick it up. And it's Pachinko by Min-Jin Lee. I think it's an Asian saga. 1930s Korea, an earnest young woman abandoned by the lover who has gotten her pregnant enters into a marriage of convenience that will take her to a new life in Japan. So, yeah. And then the other book, I grabbed it, forgot I had it. So, we'll just deal with it. But I love it. Anyway, so, Murder for Halloween, Tales of Suspense with an original novella by Peter Straub and short stories by Ed McBain, Marcia Muller, Dorothy Cannell, Peter Lovesey, and others, edited by Michelle Slung and Roland Hartman. So it's a bunch of short stories of Halloween. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 stories. So, not the best thing to read leading up to Christmas, but hey, why not? If people can read Christmas in July, I can read Halloween in December. So that is my update. Thanks for sticking around if you're still here. I'm hoping to get back on schedule, but I'll do this when I can. I might just go to, like I've said this before, never happened. I might go to reading 5 books and then updating, reading 5 books and updating. That way I'm not pressured, like personal pressure, to have them up on Mondays. I just have them up when I can. Yeah, so that's the thing. Anyways, I will talk to you later. Everybody has a wonderful day, and I will see you soon.